Here we go. This evening, Murfreesboro police officers responded to a shots fired call yesterday. We have the latest next. Plus, firefighters in West Frankfort battled a house fire near 2 schools this morning. We have more on that story coming up. Plus, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office in Mount Vernon is asking for help in a theft investigation. We have those stories and more this evening on the Friday evening edition of News 24 at 5. And good evening. Thanks for joining us. It is Friday, September 21st, 2018. We have a lot of news to get to this evening. We begin in Murfreesboro, where the Murfreesboro Police Department responded to a shots fired call on the east side of town yesterday. According to the interim police chief, Michael Laughlin, officers got the call around 8:47 p.m. to the 100 block of Wells Street. This is just north of the Murfreesboro-Pomona-Somerset Fire Department. Interim Police Chief Laughlin says the officers found some shell casings in the area. At this time, there is no suspect information and there are no reports of any injuries. Anyone with information is asked to call the Murfreesboro Police Department at 618-684-5244. Firefighters in West Frankfort battled a house fire near 2 schools this morning. According to the West Frankfort Fire Department, crews were called out at 7:52 a.m. to a home at 710 East Main Street. This is across from St. John's Catholic School and just east of the West Frankfort High School. When crews arrived, they say smoke and flames could be seen shooting out of the basement on the northeast side of the home. It reportedly took crews approximately 2.5 to 3 hours to put out the fire, which originated in a basement apartment. Fire crews tell us the home is divided into 4 apartments and only 2 were being lived in at the time. The 2 tenants made it out of the building without injury. The cause of the fire is unclear. The state fire marshal is on the scene investigating. No firefighters were injured while battling the fire. West Frankfort firefighters say the basement apartment has major fire and smoke damage, and the other units have smoke damage. Due to the conditions, the 2 tenants will reportedly be displaced for at least a couple of days. The American Red Cross is providing them with assistance. Crews from West City, Ziegler, Benton, Marion, Heron, and Johnston City fire departments also helped West Frankfort. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office in Mount Vernon is asking for help in a theft investigation. According to the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, investigators are trying to identify these 2 people seen riding on an ATV. The Sheriff's Office says the 2 individuals are persons of interest in a theft investigation in rural Belle Rive in early September. If you can identify the individuals in the pictures, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office would like to contact investigators at 618-244-8004. A Carbondale man has been sentenced to 15 years in prison for aggravated arson. Keelan R. Bush, 46, pleaded guilty to the charge on August 3rd. He was sentenced September 21st. He must serve 3 years of mandatory supervised release. Bush purchased a lighter and gasoline and used them to start a fire to a residence on Burke Street in Carbondale. Bush lit a bundle of sticks on fire in front of the home and lit paper items on fire near the rear door. The person saw the flames and called 911. All those present within the home, including children, were safely evacuated. The investigation was conducted by the Carbondale Police Department and the Carbondale Fire Department. 2 teens are facing charges after vehicles were broken into in southern Illinois today. According to Pinckneyville Police, Cole Goodwin, 18, and Jordan Thompson, 18, both of Pinckneyville, were arrested for burglary. Other charges are pending. A number of items have been found. To the weather this evening, where cooler conditions are settling in. Here's News 24's Terry Rodriguez with the latest. All right, thanks, Terry. Turning to Carbondale this evening, where nearly $4 million in grant money was awarded to the Southern Illinois Airport Authority to build 2 new hangars in Carbondale. The grant money comes from the Economic Development Administration. The investments are expected to create 45 new jobs and facilitate the expansion of several private aviation companies, the aviation cluster, and workforce training at Southern Illinois University's Transportation Education Center. Voter interest is experiencing a surge, according to Jackson County, Illinois officials. According to officials with the Jackson County Clerk's Office, the area has hundreds of early by-mail ballot applications. Officials said the county has received more than 480 early vote-by-mail applications for the 2018 general election for governor and other officers. 2 years ago, that number was only 108 for the presidential general election and 115 4 years ago for the last midterm and gubernatorial election. Illinois law says the application must be available on the county website for voters to access at least 90 days prior to the start of early voting. Then, starting 40 days prior, ballots can be sent before Election Day. Officials also said there has been a recent history of political campaigns or parties sending out ballot applications to their supporting voters. Much more local news, sports, and weather is coming up next, but first, here's your Fox News update.
In Fox News. Factually incorrect. Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's what Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein says about a New York Times report that he suggested wearing a wire to record the president.
The Times reports that Rosenstein had talked about recruiting members within the cabinet, so the highest levels here of government, as it relates to potentially invoking the 25th Amendment. That is the clause that would allow members of the cabinet to remove the president, or at least begin the process of doing that. Rosenstein has released a statement denying all of this.
Fox Business Network's Blake Berman at the White House. Rosenstein, in his denial, also says that based on his personal dealings with the president, there's no basis to invoke the 25th Amendment. Sources tell Fox News there was a comment about wearing a wire, but that it was a sarcastic remark and never discussed with any intention of recording the president. All of this prompting renewed speculation about whether Rosenstein might be the author of the recent anonymous op-ed. He also denies that. President Trump headed to Missouri for another rally after an event last night in Las Vegas, where he signed appropriations measures today, including one aimed at expanding health care choices for veterans.
We had people waiting in line with a simple problem that by the time they saw the doctor, they were terminally ill. No more of that.
In between events, he's been criticizing Senate Democrats over the handling of a sexual assault allegation against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Lawyers for the accuser, Christine Ford, are negotiating how and when she might testify. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell at the Values Voters Summit earlier today.
Keep the faith. Don't get rattled by all of this. We're going to plow right through it and do our job.
Senate Democrats, meantime, accuse Republicans of rushing the process. and not treating the allegation with enough seriousness or respect. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Stop.
We refuse to do things the easy way because building is what we do. Partner with us because time is money. Quality is everything. You should love where you live. Cooking with Mom. Weekend get-togethers. That's what it's about. Proudly local and here to partner with you. Right to its level.
The fiber in oats makes them part of a heart healthy diet. But these oats have an added bonus. They're ready now. Wow, that's fast fiber.
I've had a hearing loss for a long time, and I've tried several plans. I've been a lot of places, but I found I love your product that you have, and I love your service. Love the learning. Love it. It's more natural sounding than any hearing aid I've ever had, and I definitely people should try the learning. My hearing is a lot better.
At the Home Depot, you can get the highest quality paint in America at the lowest price, backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. You can't find a higher price, but you can find a better paint. Now get Behr Premium Plus starting at $25.98. The Home Depot.
I want to see people lose weight and get in shape. And that's why I do it. I mean, that's my passion. That's my heart. I've been doing this for 22 years, and I found something that works. It started by Brent Boot Camp, where I give you the workout. I just don't do the diet with you. I give you tips. We do it in a group setting. We're growing every day, and we ask anybody that has ever wanted to try something like that, come out and try it on us and see what they think. And I don't think they'll ever leave if they do.
Little Caesars has done it again by giving you one large pizza piled high with 5 delicious meat toppings. Hot and ready every day between 4 and 8 p.m. for only $9. You heard me right. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Meat toppings, including pepperoni, sausage, bacon, beef, and ham. Order yours on our convenient mobile app, or simply walk into Little Caesars and pick up your large hot and ready 5-meat feast for just $9 tonight.
Pizza, pizza.
Stanley Steamer, the leader in professional carpet cleaning, is also the professional you can trust to clean your oriental and fine area rugs. Our multi-step cleaning process begins by removing the loose dirt. Then a gentle wash cycle eliminates the rest. We remove pet mess and odors too. No detail is overlooked. Keep your rugs clean and preserved for generations to come. Call now to find area rug cleaning specials in your area.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
He's been called tenacious, a fighter, Southern Illinois' principled and compassionate leader. That's Mike Bost. He's taken on foreign governments to combat unfair trade practices that destroy American jobs, stood up to the entrenched bureaucracy, and worked to clear the VA so veterans get the care they deserve. Led the charge for the bipartisan solution to make our schools safer for students. Mike Bost, a proven leader we can trust.
I'm Mike Bost, and I approve this message.
All right, thanks, Terry. Turning to Centralia this evening, where an iron worker was killed while working on a construction site at Centralia Junior High School. Marion County Coroner Troy Cannon said today that 32-year-old Matthew Smith of Tilden appeared to have been electrocuted. His death would have been instant. Cannon said Smith had been using a welder operated by a gas generator. Smith was working with a supervisor at the time of the incident. However, that supervisor left for a few minutes and found a collapsed Smith when he returned. John Schmidt of Iron Workers Union Local 392 says Smith, who had 7 years of welding experience, was working with Rock Branch Iron Works on the project. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration confirmed today the agency has opened an investigation into Smith's death. The Illinois Supreme Court has upheld a 2012 law that sought to clarify property tax exemptions for charitable hospitals. The court voted 7-0 in an opinion issued Thursday. It ruled on a law that allows issuing tax exemptions to hospitals when the value of the charity care or free of discounted services they provide exceed its estimated tax liability. Constance Oswald argued in her lawsuit that the law requires issuing an exemption regardless of whether the constitutional requirements are met. The court found that the language of the law merely allowing an exemption in warranted cases. The Illinois Health and Hospital Association spokesman Danny Chun says the law has cleared up previous confusion and ensured financially stretched hospitals can serve their communities. The case is Oswald versus Beard. In Harrisburg, Shawnee Community College will be hosting several free application for federal student aid completion events in the region, according to a news release from the college. Students heading to college for the first time, as well as returning college students, can complete the FAFSA for the 2019-20 academic year beginning October 1st. The release states that completing FAFSA on or soon after October 1st is particularly critical because some aid is awarded on a first-come, first-served basis. Students use this information to award financial aid packages. States use it to determine eligibility for state aid, and often it is required for scholarship applications. The events hosted by the college will be at the Vienna High School on October 3rd, the Metropolis Extension Center on October 11th, the Anna Extension Center on October 22nd, the Olin Main Campus on October 23rd, and the Cairo Extension Center on October 25th. Applicants are asked before attending an event to create a federal student aid ID at www.studentaid.gov/FSED, and the FSA ID takes 1 to 3 days to verify. In addition to creating a FAFSA ID, applicants should bring 2017 W-2s and or 1999's 2017 child support received, 2017 child support paid, and any other income in 2017. For more information regarding FAFSA, call the Shawnee Community College Financial Aid Office at 618-634-3200, then select option 1, then option 2. Much more local news, sports, and weather is coming up next. We'll be right back.
That's what you're going to get when you go to college.
Yeah.
Some visit southernmost Illinois for peace and quiet, while others come for the fruits of the harvest. And then there are those drawn to the excitement and adventure around every turn of this monumental landscape. But no matter what brings you to southernmost Illinois, or what season you visit, there's plenty to see and do. And with our network of inns, cottages, and B&Bs, you can rest assured that there's always a great place to stay. Book your next getaway at ShawneeWineTrailBB.com.
It's life-changing. I've been in practice